Hey everybody, Bungzy here with another ultralight review on ultralight backpacking. Today I have a little profile on my favorite piece of non-essential gear. It weighs only 2.11 ounces, and while I know I don't need it, I just can't leave it behind. Would you like to meet it? Let me introduce you to my beloved torso-length 1/8 inch foam pad. Now, let me walk you through all the ways in which I use it. First off, my guilty pleasure is the trail nap. And my mat is the place to be. No unpacking, no blowing up pads. In seconds, I'm good to go. I don't quite know why it is, but my naps are some of the more memorable moments of any of my hikes. Not sure why. Maybe it's the ultimate indulgence or just the quintessential one with nature moment. I don't know, but I just love my naps. Moving on, my pad is my meal chair and dining table. Nothing like a dry, clean spot to sit, not to mention having a spot to spread all my food and gear out without spilling or misplacing it along the way. My pad is also my windscreen should I need one to get my stove going if it's windy. Speaking of fires, I also use it all the time to fan a flame if we're trying to get a campfire going. And speaking of campfires, it's my spot around the campfire or when just chilling with my boys. No need to look for a spot to sit. I can sit anywhere with this. Come bedtime, it has several uses. I make a point of bringing a warmer pad in the winter, but I can spread the pad on top of my blow-up pad for a little more warmth. It's also my backup. Repairing a pad in the wild isn't that easy. It's not always so easy to find the hole, first off. They also might take some time or even a few attempts to get right. It's also worth pointing out that some pads have quilts or other complicated designs these days. While more comfortable and lighter, this also results in holes that could be harder to reach or repair with patches. So the pad is your backup. I'm not sure, especially in cooler weather, if there's anything more worthy of having redundancy on than your sleeping pad. Moving on, I also use my pad as my tent porch. If I put on the ground or if the shoes are wet, I can use my mat just outside my tent to deal with my shoes or other wet gear. As my porch, it's also super helpful in the middle of the night when nature calls. No need to put your shoes on, just run your pad out like you're walking the plank and bam, you're good to go. In the morning, I can also use the pad as my packing staging area. It keeps everything clean, dry, and together, thereby minimizing the odds of me forgetting something. And depending on my pack, it's also my frame or at least cushion. What is that? Maybe it's a dozen uses I've mentioned, and that's only for 2.11 ounces of gear. What other uses do you have for your pad? Be sure to share the comment section for all down below. I purchased my pad from Gossamer Gear, and I've included a link for you in my video description. And again, I cut it down to torso length. Well, that's all the time I need. I hope I gave you something to think about. Subscribe to my channel by clicking the Bungzy logo, and I'll catch you in my next ultralight review on ultralight backpacking. And again, if I missed out some use cases that you thought of, please add them to the description down below for everyone's benefit. See you on the next one.